What's going on, guys? It's me again with another video, and I'm here pretty much to discuss the inverse world as I said I would before. So what's happening here, pretty much the purpose of this video is I want to show you guys what I typically do when it comes to selecting those challenges, or like I like to call them, deficiencies, so that I can actually stack up as much points as possible. As you can see, the first one here with the master trial, this is what I ended up doing. I ended up adding all these challenges here that you see highlighted, and I was able to rack up to 28 for the challenge here. But we're going to go with the apocalypse challenge, and we're going to start from scratch. Okay, so the first thing I typically consider is obviously going to be what I consider my best roster. Okay, and my roster, when I'm in my rosters, I try to depend on just the actual fighting team that I want to use, and I would consider the class. Okay, now a lot of people are running the win faction, and if you're one of those people, that means what you want to do is you want to pretty much select any deficiency that would affect the other factions but not the win faction. Okay, for me though, I run the Thunder faction. That's my priority when it comes to selecting characters. So what I do is, as you can see here, if you add the Thunder option here and you check it, it says during battle all damage taken by friendly Thunder faction fighters increased by 70%. Now I definitely do not want that, so I'm not going to be adding that at all. But I'm not going to be using any win character or any fire character. So I'm just going to go right ahead and do that and add, damage taken by friendly flame faction as well as friendly wind faction, to 70%. And this is because I do not intend to have them in my squad. Okay, so the other thing you have to consider is you want to make sure that you can pile up as much as possible, because the moment you actually start the challenge, you're not able to add any more challenge gain, but you are able to remove challenges that you find difficult when you can't progress, and you would still be able to measure as much as the rewards that you feel like you can actually accumulate. So it becomes, as you understand, a case of high risk and high reward. Okay, so now let's look at this third. I always go through the hard challenge first, because this ones I don't tend to give like major boosts. Okay, so this one says reduce healing effect by 99% during battle for friendly fighters. This is practically saying that you don't want to have any healing ability, and you don't want to be using healing, EX moves. I don't know if I want that yet, so I'm going to just take that out for the time being until I go here. Now this is the next one. Okay, this one says Cham is inflicted on friendly anchor fighters at the start of the battle. Effect lasts 6 seconds. I intend to have Bison as the anchor in my team, so I can afford to let him be dazed, because if he gets taken out, he's going to pretty much blast them back, and more importantly, he's not the only number 1 or 2 that I'm going to have in my squad, so I can still chain combos. So I'm going to leave that in there for now. Okay, the next I'm going to consider is, we're looking at this one here. It says the first time a friendly fighter unleashes a combo 3, the enemy gains a non-dispellable shield equal to 30% of their max HP for 20 seconds. Now this one here, trust me, I've tried using it before. The first time I don't like it at all, because what happens is that you are either going with 2 combos to avoid that shield, which means less DPS, or you're taking that risk of having a tough time finishing the enemies off and getting the chance of actually getting annihilated yourself. So I typically do not recommend that. If you think you have ways around that, you can definitely go ahead and do that. Otherwise, like I said, I wouldn't recommend that at all. The next one here says enemy fighters gain 3% attack and 3% defense every 3 seconds from the start of the battle. I can live with that. Like, I'm hoping I will be able to overwhelm them before they actually get too much attack and too much defense. If I realize that it's taking me it's actually tough for me to take them out, then I'm not going to stick with it. I'm going to take it off eventually. Now, I think this is one of the best ones, and the reason why I say it's one of the best ones is because you can try your best to have a lineup where you do not actually lose a character, because this one says each time a fighter from the fighter's player's lineup is defeated, the attack and defense of other friendly fighters go down by 20%. So pretty much once you lose a character, a friendly fighter, the rest start to drop, in defense and attack, and you don't want that. But you want to hope that you're going to have a chance of actually having all your units survive. So it's a risk worth taking from the start. Okay. Now, the last one obviously is a standard challenge here. The first one says increase damage reduction for all enemy fighters by 30%. This is one that I can actually risk because I'm hoping that my attack will be good enough to still take them out. So we'll leave that on there for now. Like I said again, if it's taking a tough time to actually take them out, then we start to sacrifice some of the standard challenges there. And if you remember, the goal you want to do is you want to at the bare minimum hit the fighting soul that you can get here. As you can see, I've already surpassed that, so it's a safe bet for the time being. And of course, like I said before, you want to make sure you can take as much challenges as possible, so that by the time you begin a challenge, you just have to take it off if you feel like you're not able to cope well enough. Okay, so this second one says increase damage dealt by all enemy fighters by 30%. This is also crazy. You don't want to lose your life as soon as possible, but you want to hope that you can actually run, and take them out as quickly as possible. So this is something to consider, and also take out if you don't like it. This one says increase all enemies HP by 50%. That's also something that you can, like I said, eventually take out if it doesn't actually tickle your fancy. And the last one obviously says enemies recover 30% of max HP every 5 seconds. Now that one is really tough. Okay, and what that one does is it takes you all the way to 30 from 25, so it's an extra 5 boost. If I look at this entire stuff, it looks safe enough to stick with it. Looking at this says reduce effective. No, I'm just gonna take that out, and it looks like we're back at our 28 again. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right ahead and try and make an attempt at the first battle with the squad I intend to select, and then after that I'm going to definitely run the rest in the background so as not to take too much time. And once we get to the final battle, I will definitely see if we can showcase it again, or at least show my results by the end of it. So let's go right ahead and make a first attempt at these challenges. The characters we have here is these are like, we've got Guy, we've got Poison, and Adam, and we've also got Hugo as their tank. So let's see if we can take them out as quickly as possible. It doesn't hurt to quit. You're not going to get any penalties, so bear that in mind. So I'm going to go right ahead and hit the challenge. Okay, and typically I like to play this on manual because you have to be as flexible as possible. So this is the roster I decided to go with. Okay, first of all, I want to make sure I have that balance, which the synergy, the bonus that you can get from having the right factions. Okay, and then the next thing I also want to do is make sure that I have, at least Elena and Rose to be fast enough for me to attack as quickly as possible. So I'm going to go right ahead and confirm if they do have fast gens in them. Rose doesn't have fast gen. I may have to switch that in a bit. But what about Elena? Elena's got fast gen. So let's just go back quickly to address that issue with Rose. Okay, I'm going to go right ahead and just give her the fast gens, just to add more speed to the team, so that we can actually boost our special bar and unleash as quickly as possible. So I'm just going to go right here and just change it with any random person. Look for someone who's using fast chant that I don't need, like Dalzim. And then let's go back to the challenge itself. Okay, it's going to be the global operations on inverse world, and then as you can see, once you select that, your challenges, it's all there. But you can always come back here if you feel like it's too tough. remove it and then modify the change, but I'm not going to do that. Okay, so I'm just going to go back here and let's go right ahead and now try our first battle. Okay, hopefully we succeed. Let's go here too. All right. Okay, I'm not impressed here. I'm going to quit for now because the original plan I wanted was I needed Ryu to finish off his move, but that didn't happen for some reason. I think he was charmed. So we're going to try again. I'm going to try to be quicker. Alright, let's see here. Okay. And that is the first round there. Okay. And as you can see, we still have full health because I have Elena and my team there to at least try to replenish it. That's going to be key as well. If you have Elena, it actually does a good job for you guys. So that's just pretty much my take on what I choose on the challenges. By the end of the challenge, we're going to see if we're still with the same set of challenge that we had, or if we are going to deduce some out of it. Thanks again for watching here. That's just my take on the Apocalypse Challenge in the Inverse World, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.